Hello, I'm back for eBay Expeditions number 3. There's been a bit of a break in between them, and I'm sorry about that. But yeah, there's once again been a lot of interesting sales and kind of groundbreaking stuff in the footy card world. So it's got to be fun to roll through them. These cards are a tad outdated as well because I was planning on doing this video a bit earlier. So there's probably been more recent sales which are interesting as well. But I'll get into that next video or whenever I can get around to it. So the first one, once again, I've got the piece of paper to remember all of them, but the first one I wanted to talk about is the Harry McKay cards. I think it is Harry McKay. I've been saying Harry McKay, but yeah, I heard his twin brother say McKay, so I'm gonna start saying McKay from now on. But his cards, I mentioned them in the first eBay Expeditions, how the marquee was selling for like 700, but his green, like his most sought after rookie card, was only $200 on eBay. And I actually checked back on his cards just out of interest because he's obviously killing it this year. I think he's got concussed today though, so something to watch for, and I hope he's all good. But yeah, so I checked back on his cards and they're sold. Like, they actually got wiped off at eBay. 2 of his black or red signatures, the ones out of 200, and the green signature that was listed for $200, that actually sold as well. So it's pretty interesting. I wonder if it was someone who watched my video, maybe. I mean, comment below if you did and you bought that after seeing it on the video. But yeah, I think it's, no matter whether it was or not, I think it's a very natural kind of organic purchase because he's doing so well. And obviously when players are doing so well and gaining a bit of a following, people are just going to go back to their important cards and snap them up. Now the $200 McKay card, does it have room to grow? Yes. Is it risky? Also yes, because he hasn't proved himself over multiple seasons at this point. Probably the safer bet is the black or red signatures because they were only $30. So if you want to be a bit more safe, risk averse, I mean, it's not going to go down a whole lot more than $30, and it maybe could go up to 50 or 60 at the end of the year if he keeps doing what he's doing at the moment. The green, it obviously is a bit more risky because if he kind of fades into being an average player, then that card could go down to, like $100 or something like that. But if he keeps doing what he's doing, that card could boom up to $500. Like, Cullen has a pretty good collector base, so I wouldn't be surprised. So it's, for people who have a greater risk tolerance, actually that's probably a good thing to get into because you could see a big return or you could lose a bit of money as well. But I thought it was interesting and not necessarily a really good buy, but definitely not a bad buy as well. An interesting buy nonetheless. So the next one I want to talk about, another big forward, and that's Tom Lynch and his draft pick signature. I've always been interested about his draft pick signature because it's at Gold Coast, obviously, and now he's very collectible within the Richmond fan base. But his draft pick signature's always sold really low, and it's always kind of confused me because I know people don't like collecting cards with another team on them, say like because he got the Gold Coast uniform and the Gold Coast colours and the cards. Richmond supporters don't necessarily like that, but personally, I've never understood that. Like, he's still the same player. That's still his rookie card, and it's still his most significant card for me. So, yeah, I just think Tom Lynch is, in general, quite underrated, actually. I know that sounds a bit silly because people always have him in the conversation as the best forward in the league, but yeah, I think he's not really talked about as much as he should be. He's an amazing talent. Every time I watch him play, I'm like, wow, that is the best forward in the competition. I think he's the most skilled or the most dominant forward in the competition at the moment, personally. And for his draft pick signature to go for under $80, it's $80 best offer. I didn't check what it actually went for, but I'm guessing it wouldn't have gone for much more than $50, $60. So I think that's a really good buy at that price point, and it's a really cool looking card. Those early Gold Coast cards, I think they're really cool. I'm not sure if they'll become collectible, but just the newness of that team and the historic era that the AFL went through when they were introducing the new teams is pretty cool for me. Anyway, the next card is Dangerfield rookie, and I've been talking about Dangerfield a lot lately. Obviously, I think he's a good buy at the moment. So he's got the platinum out of 100, got the gold signature out of 400, and then he's got this rookie, which is from the cheaper set of that year. And this one sold for $28 posted. So it actually looked in really good condition as well from the photos. I was pretty impressed by how sharp the card looked, and only sold for $28. So once again, there's not a lot of downside on a card like this. I think I probably will try to pick it up if it stays around that price point. I think it's a good buy in that kind of condition. Will it shoot up in price? Probably not, but will it lose a lot of value? Probably not once again. So yeah, it's a nice kind of safe-ish card, I think, and a really cool looking card as well. The next card is Bailey Smith. So his draft pick signature. When I first saw these set of draft pick signatures, I wasn't really a big fan of them. But yeah, as time's gone on, every time I see them, I love them. I think that they look really, really cool. Kind of the scratch effect and yeah, and the plays photos. I think it looks really cool, and it kind of suits Bailey Smith's like rock star kind of persona. I think this card sold for $260, and although that seems like a lot, he has the ability, or he has the possibility of becoming like a cult-like figure in AFL. I think he already has kind of like a cult following, and some of this is because of on-field, because he's such an amazing player, but some of it's also just who he is. Kind of an interesting proposition for the future, whether his cards will go up and down. But I think no matter how he plays on the field, I think his cards will always get a bit of a premium over kind of someone of his caliber. Say like a Jack McKay on the team. Like you could probably argue, well, probably you'd be right to say that Jack McKay is a better player as we speak, a more consistent kind of, well-rounded player than Bailey Smith. But Bailey Smith, you can't deny he's more collectible. He has lots of X factor, and his upside is just huge for the future. So at $260, it's not cheap, but I don't think it's a bad buy once again. Another person with a huge X factor is Cyril, and one of his gold draft pick signatures sold for $119 best offer, so it probably would have been a bit less than the $119. But yeah, you just don't see this draft pick signature come up. Well, you see the gold come up a couple times. I don't think I've seen the platinum draft pick signature come up once in the last 3 years. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but on any platform I haven't seen one platinum draft pick signature. And I wonder what they'd go for, because for Hawthorn fans, Cyril is that X Factor player to a T, like for that era. And I think he will just have huge collectability, huge kind of reflection, or what word I'm looking for, huge nostalgic value for kind of my generation of footy viewers and fans. So yeah, I think $100 is probably a fair price, but I'm more interested next time I want to see the platinum sell, and I want to see how much that sells for, because the platinum at this point probably sells for $300. It probably sells for $350. That'd be just my guess. Could be a bit lower, but yeah, it would be interesting. The next one is 2021 Footy Stars Prestige. So this is a modern one. This is just one that I thought looked cheap compared to how footy cards are going these days. This is the Petrarca Red or Orange Parallel, and this went for $13 shipped. I mean, Petrarca cards are really gaining popularity and price because of how he's playing. And I watched him the other night. I think he is the real deal. Like, he's almost got me convinced that he's the real deal. So for $13 shipped, I'm just surprised how little this went for, and it's just seeing something like this once again doesn't fill me with confidence on the longevity of these kind of low-end releases and low-end cards, because there's just so many around that a card like this just slips through and sells for $13, and even though he's a major star of the AFL at the moment. But yeah, not a huge amount to say on that. The next one is another card I talk about a lot, and you just don't see around, or you don't see on sale. So I was really kind of happy to see it pop up on eBay. This is the 2010 Prestige Ablett signature. This sold for $375 plus postage, and I'm pretty sure this one sold almost immediately, which goes to the point that you just don't see it, and people are just waiting for it, and they know if then they don't buy it at that moment, even if it's I don't think that's an unreasonable price. I think it's a fair price, but I don't think people are happy to kind of leave room to haggle. Like, they see it and they go, well, if I want this, I've got to buy it right now, because you won't find it again. And this is probably going to be my next video, saying about the rarity and just how good footy cards just don't come up. Like, lots of them, you just don't see them, which is quite amazing. I don't know where they're going. I don't know if some collectors kind of hoard these cards, and there's really strong, maybe older collectors who don't use platforms such as Facebook or internet forums. But yeah, I just really wonder where lots of these cards go, because say like a Dustin Martin draft pick signature, there's 400 around, and they're going online for between $1,000 and $1,500 at the moment. Surely lots of people would be happy to offload them at that price. Like, there's 400 made, yet there's none on the internet right now, which just blows my mind. Either people don't care about the money and they just want the card, or people don't know about the price and they just have it sitting in their cupboard from back in the day when they used to open footy card packs. So yeah, that's probably a topic for another video. The last one, and the most expensive, is Dustin Martin McKay. And this is, yeah, like I said in my last video, this is the hottest card in the market right now. And yeah, and then there was a couple sales I want to look at. First, the normal one. When I say normal, I mean it's not numbered number 1, and it's not his jumper number. And this sold for around $2K, about $2,000. This is huge. This is a huge price. I think when I did the expected value of the box, I said his card could probably go for $1,000. Did I say around maybe just over $1,000? But selling out the gate for $2,000, that cracks that out of the water. And that actually, my expected value at 315 might have been a tad low. Like, that's why people are willing to spend that and upwards for a box at the moment, because yeah, if you get a card like this, you're gonna make your money back in droves. So yeah, the normal one selling at $2K, and then the number 1 went up for sale, and that actually sold for $3,000. And that's a $1,000 difference. But I mean, if you're spending $2,000 on a card anyway, personally, I wouldn't buy it. But if I had the choice, $2,000 for a normal or $3,000 for the number 1, I think I'm taking the number 1. And you guys can tell me in the comments what you think, what you prefer. But I'd probably pay the extra $1,000 for the number 1. So cool. That's all I've got on my list today. And yeah, I hope to see you for my next video. And thanks for watching. Cheers.